Derby County at Elland Road were the next opponents in our league campaign, and this was a tough game. Tough in terms of Derby were very resolute defensively and extremely switched on. My players were losing battles individually. Here we are with an effort. Our link-up play and our passing in and around Derby's box was good, very good. But Derby were extremely aggressive. I mean, there's a little example. And they were winning the ball and, keeping it there. I had to let the Derby player keep that because that could have been a situation where the referee would have given them a free kick. And I didn't want that scenario in that area, so I just let them continue with this attack. We tried to win the ball, as you can see, multiple times, and multiple times Derby kept it, and in the end got the shot away. Here we are with a corner, and that's wide at the far post. This is a terrible, terrible replay, but that's what PES does, isn't it? Some of the replays in this game are shocking. Valerdi, Satalo. Derby didn't, as you can see there, they sat off us. One of these games where we could have had the ball in our half and just kept it, and they wouldn't have done anything. Here, I'm really not happy, and this was happening a lot. This is why we were losing battles, because PES decided, stat-wise, that Derby were going to win every time. So here, Vaca is being fouled. There's no doubt about it. He's being kicked in the calf and pushed in the back, and he stumbles there. And that allows the Derby player to get in front and get the block on the shot. That's not fair. That's a free kick, 10 times out of 10, but in a programme that doesn't cheat. And PES is in cheat mode for Derby here. That should be a free kick. That's a foul. And PES says no. You can do that. So I'm up against it. PES is in cheat mode. And it was a really frustrating match, which is why there's only one game on this highlight bit, because there are a few things to show here. Here's another one. Vaca again gets in front of his man, has full control of the ball. Now here, the question is, does the Derby player kick Vaca before he touches the football, right? Because Derby players are getting boosts on strength and everything. So what we need to ascertain, and the replay is quite bad in PES nowadays, but there, you can clearly see his foot is going to make contact with Vaca's foot before the ball, and it does. So Vaca's fouled, and PES prioritises Derby to have the ball once again. And the kicker is, from that little bit, they kick the ball down the pitch, so they foul Vaca, kick the ball down the pitch, and I get penalised for this. So I decide to have a look at it, because I'm being pushed in the back just outside their area. Vaca's being kicked. So I thought, well, this must be an absolutely awful foul then for the referee to blow. And all that's happened is my players just come across there, and the Derby player, you'll see my player's right leg and their player's left leg just touch there before my player gets his foot across and touches the ball, and that's why he gives the free kick. So you're allowed to push my players on the edge of the area and stop them getting the shot off without it being blocked. You're allowed to kick them before you actually touch the football, but I can't do that. So it's one rule for the AI, and it's one for me, and this is a match that classically shows how PES actually, factually plays. And this is why, all in the past, when everybody said it plays to the same set of rules, I get annoyed, and I just say no, it doesn't, because I get matches where factually it's just not the same. And here, I'm not allowed to play to the same set of rules that PES is playing to. So this is an extraordinarily frustrating game for me. But we're trying to play, like I say, our link-up play and our passing in and around their area was good. It's just that we weren't allowed. Oh, and the other thing that PES was doing in this game was it was misdirecting my passes on purpose, but it wasn't misdirecting Derby's passes on purpose at key moments. So there were lots of things in this game that were just different for my team and different for me as I played it with my pad. Here we steal the ball, and again we're pushed, and again it's just on the edge of the area. And this here clearly shows the Derby player, when it happens, is behind my player, not at the side of my player. So if you shoulder barge somebody in football, then that's kind of a fair challenge. But here, that is clearly behind. And shoving people in the back and then taking the ball is a foul. So I should have a free kick right on the edge of the area. Well, that's a goal scoring opportunity. And PES has said, no, you're not allowed again. So another time in the game, PES has done things to suit itself. And now Derby are in. I'm outnumbered. They play the ball across and score. You know, what do you do? 86 minutes, tick-tock on the clock. You can imagine the choice words that Medic Maniac's saying there. Yeah, I think the referee's going to need an armed guard escort out the pitch. And I think once again it's not going to do him any good. Not any good at all. I think he can have 10 armed guard escorts and it won't do him any good. Yeah, not pleased with the referee on this one. What is it? You're not fit to referee. You don't know what you're doing. Indeed. So Derby, have another effort here. Ball across. And then tick-tock. We need to try and construct something. So we try. Lovely ball in, but the Derby player's faster, and the Derby player gets there first, and of course he does. Of course he gets across, even though he's going to lose that situation. Of course he ends up winning it, and of course we can't get a touch on the ball, and of course Derby take the 3 points because PES was in cheat mode, and it had written the result before I pushed the button. There is no argument. PES plays to a separate set of rules to me. There is no argument. So that was a match where it was very frustrating. And the other thing about that game is that is typical of my times playing Derby County. Like, for example, in the first half, before half-time, PES cheated for Derby, and then Derby just kept the ball at the back for ages. And that's typical. Right, there is the league table. I was really fed up with that game. I shall see you for the next one, which is different. Take care.